God, we're fighting them. What? Wait, are you saying we're fighting our teachers? Yes, Minetta, we are. As you can see, I came up with that conclusion. I don't know if it's true though. That's my idea. Oh, we're screwed. I just don't want to fight All Might. Yeah, no, duh. Only I could. Shut up, Minetta. No, you couldn't. You both know that. He'd punt you like a soccer player or a football player, like over in Britain. And that doesn't mean I still couldn't try. Duh, you would try, but by the time you try to get one of those break things off the top of your head, you'd be flying to the moon. Like you could say anything big, muscly, handsome. Are you trying to insult me or what? Nothing, weirdo. I'm going away from you. I'm walking away. Okay. What just happened? I wish I knew myself. Coming, right? Yeah. Why are you poking me? Making sure you're real. I may have got a little too drunk. You drink the forbidden juice and you're still 18? Yeah, I got a massive headache right now. And if I deal with any more of Ashido's screaming, I'm gonna short circuit myself. Just wait for your test and it probably still happens. Hello, it is me, We Anime or Anime We. I'm here to bring you part 5 of What If Deku Had Gravity. Uh, uh. Y'all ever burp up fruit? Like the flavor of it? That was a gross thing to say, ignore me. I was recently Gravity Court. Hi, you already know it. Hi. I was recently on my analytics. Recently, just a little bit ago, before recording this, uh, I learned that 21% of you all are women. Awesome. Still not entirely sure why you're watching this. What is that noise? I'll be right back. I'm so very sorry for taking so long. I got confused, very confused. But 21% of you are women? Once again, I'm not judging, not trying to judge. I think that's really interesting of my subscribed like people are female. Still mostly the dudes. I don't know why I did that. I do have a question for all of you, every single one of you that watch this video. Um, what video got you to subscribe to my channel? I'm genuinely curious. I have a feeling a lot of it is my more popular ones. Um, like my Power Ranger, like Asta Light Magic, and things of that nature, like my more popular ones. But I'm curious, what video got you all to start watching me, We Anime, or well, you can call me whatever, We Annie, Wheat, um, I don't know, whatever else you want to call me, Anime Wheat, We Anime, Annie Wheat, call me whatever, I don't care. But I'm still genuinely curious, what video got you all to watch me? It would be very cool to learn. Um, what got y'all to subscribe? What was your first video of mine? What was it? I want to know. Anyways, I'm on socials. Some of you probably already know that. We anime at both X and Instagram. Um, but on X, it's We Anime Real. All caps on the real part. Um, okay, I'm over there reposting stuff. Haven't really made my own thing yet. On Instagram, kind of just there. Haven't really posted much in a long time. But hey, what can you do? Um, oh God, that's a lot of rain. Wonder if that helps. Yeah, it probably doesn't help at all. My audio is just probably messed up now. Anyways, I think. Well, but first, let me get a drink of water, and then we can get into today's video. Okay. Man, I'll tell y'all what. I've been drinking a lot of pineapple juice, and like y'all know the company Arizona. I've been drinking a lot of their stuff. Their pineapple like fruit cocktail. Dog, that's so good. And they have like a water flavor like thing. Um, I don't remember what, but it's also good. It's like watermelon coconut water, watermelon and coconut water. Dude, that's amazing. I fully recommend like the juices of Arizona tea, like that company. The tea is amazing. The raspberry iced tea, dog. Yum yum, get me some. I don't know why I said that, but I did. Y'all ever see Emu, One Piece, Narona? Dude, dude smoking. Give him devil fruit. I said this so many times, but I am bisexual. I like men and women. I'm not fully gay or fully straight. I'm right in the middle. I'm bi. Um, yeah. Uh, I don't care what you all say. Don't care. Either way, believe it's time for us to get into this episode, part, thing, video. So fights would momentarily be normal. Um, Maybe a little bit of switching up. Um, right. Sarah would still get rocked by midnight. Is rocked the right word? I don't I don't believe rocked is the right word to use. Whatever. Denki and Mina would still go against Nezu. Sato and Kirishima would go against Cementos. Tsuyu and Tokoyami still going against Ectoplasma. Right. Most of the fights would just be same as in canon. Um, but since we do have an extra member of Class 1A, it being Shinsho? Yeah, that's how you totally say his name. Hitoshi, Mini Aizawa. It would be slightly different, to say the least, right? Not really different by any means. There would just be an extra person on a fight, okay? Or what would be cool would be Shinsho, um, like helping out Aizawa in the fight, like going against the other students. Mostly because that would help him with his stealthing, since he would be going like underground-esque, like Aizawa. Like he would be a nighttime hero going in patrol at night. So being like that, working on stealth would help him. So that's what he would do with Aizawa, helping him out against um, Momo and Shoto Todoroki. Okay, that's what would happen, really. All the fights being normal wouldn't change anything, to be honest. Um, like at all. I mean, now given it would kind of change the last fight. Um, Kinda, not really. All Might. See, this entire time of Deku, or not Deku, Izuku and Bakugo, Katsuki Bakugo, um, watching these guys fights over and over, another after another, eventually it would come to theirs. They would still not know who they're fighting. Still don't know. Still don't know. Oh, I should probably remind you what Izuku's hero suit looks like. Okay. I'm going to remind you all if you don't remember. His hero suit, he sports a skin tight black sleeveless shirt with two purple metal plates on the side of his body, like torso of the shirt, with white baggy pants and black boots. White baggy pants with like a nah, never mind. And black boots, and then there would be metal plate knee pads under his like pants so they're not like obstructing the design. They're under his like stuff. And then he would have like black sleeves going up his forearm that would connect has a glove-like thing on his hand, like a finger like thing. I don't know what they're called. You know how in like some like character designs. I'm sorry about the background noise. I think they're called like fingerlets, where they're like it would go up to like the finger and then just kind of hook around and maybe go up the hand or down the hand, whatever it may be. But they were like the entire like finger. I guess it would kind of just be like a. I don't know what it would be like. I hope you all know what I'm talking about. Like the fingerlets, like around on clothing, some clothing, on like anime characters, game characters. I'm decently pretty sure Link in the Breath of the Wild games has them, or maybe I've just seen a cosplay of Link from those games, and they had the finger like let things. Tamaki in his like not on this like special episode more in My Hero, but his original like design had them like the figure let thing. I know what I'm talking about. I know what they look like. They're just connected to the sleeves and they're just going up on like an additional part and wrapping around the finger like a ring. I hope you all know what I'm talking about so I don't just feel insane. But either way, the weighted gauntlets would be metal covers that would go up the forearm and cover the knuckles and the back of the hand. Okay, that's and they would be able to just like clip off of Izuku if he needs to just like bing bada boom clip them off, and then it's ready to go unrestricted. Uh, they weigh a decent amount. Sorry, there's something under my recording place, aka a sheep. I'm not joking. And the reason I stopped was because so it didn't hit its head on something um like metal down there. I hope y'all can't hear that. Either way, as soon as All Might would arrive, yes, he would slide into the like stand, like where everyone else was sitting, and he would say, "I am here." Entering the room with weights on, and then um Midnight would say, she wouldn't say anything. She would just point and laugh at Ziku. At Ziku. She would point and laugh. Just full on hysterical, like typical anime, like full on over exaggerated, just mouth wide open, like a hand on her stomach, like or hand on her like where her lungs would be, and then just pointing at him and laughing, like quit laughing. These two would get into an argument again. He would stomp up at her, just get in her face and say, "Stop laughing." These two are arguing. She's saying like, "You gotta fight All Might. All your friends, your classmates, just gotta fight little old me and the other teachers. You got to fight the number one hero." And he would say, "I'll fight you too. I'm not afraid to fight you. I'm not afraid to fight you again, Midnight. I'm not afraid to fight you, Andy. Okay? I'm not afraid to go again. I'll fight you And him. I don't care. But you do. This is, and people would just be staring at them. Like All Might would say, they're completely ignoring me. Oh, it's all right, man. All Might. Are you sure, Nezu? Are you sure they're not gonna start just? Oh, they'll start fighting, but he'll still fight. I'll make him. Oh, okay. What about young Bakugo? I think he's more confused than all of us about his teammate fighting with his like adoptive aunt. And and Bakugo would have his hands, well, his face in his hands, just shaking his head. He would hit a Higuruma face, just. I've had that somewhere. I have it saved on my phone. I need to move that into my what if, or add it to my what if album on my phone. That's what I need to do. But yet he would hit the Higuruma face, just oh my god, why am I teaming with this idiot? Oh my god. Hiroshima, who would just be like holding his shoulder, rolling his shoulder, as he would just put his hand on Bakugo's shoulder and say, "It's all right, bro. It's all right, bro. Don't touch me, Hiroshima. Don't touch me. Why did I have to get this guy as a teammate? Why? Just why?" And then you could like visibly hear, like you could hear the punches. Just you could first you would hear the like the clanking of metal hitting the ground, and then and then punches would be traded over and over. Now, given Izuku isn't going full force with his punches at all, he's doing light punches, like just like a playful punch that you might do with your siblings, just like you can't hear that, can you? But if you would take your fist, punch you on like the inside of your other forearm on the opposite side, just lightly enough to where it would make noise. That's what they're doing. And now, given Midnight is just not pulling her punches and absolutely waylaying into him. But he can take a punch, given that he did fight the no move on not so equal ground. And then we'll finish this after I'm done with this stupid test. He'd pick up both of his arm gauntlets, just slap them back on, clip them back on, just. And then you could see a tear. Like, you could see that Midnight was going to tear a piece and use her quirk. I could tear her hero suit and use her quirk to put him to sleep, and he thought, no, it's taking me forever to wake up. I'm ready. Stupid, 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 is what he would say all the way down there, all the way to the beginning. The thing would start, and he wouldn't stop repeating, stupid, stupid, stupid. And he would start walking, just stupid. And then here comes All Might in his Tony Hawk phase with a guardrail. You know what? Bro legit said, run my fade. Bro, like 6 seconds and screw. If you don't get that reference, there's a current beef between 6 seconds and Screwface John um, on the internet. Two nerdcore, well, ex nerdcore, two people in the realm of like YouTube rap 6 seconds, and Screwface John, who is a reactor at this point. Um, they've been going at it because of their personal like beef and things like that. Um, I recommend you go watch the video. It's on X, like the full length 3 hour movie like video on um 6 seconds like thing, his like page on X. It was on YouTube, but Screw got that taken down, blah blah blah. I reckon you go watch it either way. Um, there's a bunch of clips by nerdcore like rappers like uh and people like that who are friends with 6 seconds and know of Screwface John. Uh, it is hilarious. I reckon you go watch it. Um, I have no personal bias because, to be honest, I mean, I do prefer 6 seconds over Screwface John, mostly because Screwface John beefed with a nerdcore rapper by the name of 954 Mari, uh, right, years ago. Sorry for ranting about this, but I had to clear up the reference to it and I give a little bit side information. I do recommend that. And if you want to talk about it, please comment down below. We will talk. I love I in the video I remember Rustage's name coming up. And this is just a little side tangent. Because of his like verse in Screwface John's Worldwide Cipher #2, which Rustage was a part of. And bro, that was probably the whack, like the most not like unserious verse I have ever heard Rustage do. Like he's done better verses on he like dude's awesome. Rustage is awesome. I don't think you could possibly find a piece of beef on him on the internet. Something like that time. Like, bro, I don't remember. It's something about dating. I don't remember. But either way, Rustage, you're a great man. I've never met you, but from my personal like eyes, you seem like a dude that are great. Okay, either way. But the funniest verse, honestly, I recommend you go either listen to that cipher because everyone on that cipher is quite good. Right. Like even though I don't like Screwface John, he does he's a decent rapper. Okay. Don't like him. He's good at music though. So I recommend you go listen to that. But I also recommend you go look at the beef on Twitter or watch the videos on X. I mean, not X. Yeah, X and YouTube. I fully recommend it. It is so funny. 6 seconds is unbelievably funny. Um, he is so unbelievably funny. I truly recommend it. His channel is like V1, like the Roman numerals for six, and then seconds. You find them, or I'll link them down below, whichever. I know if he ever sees this, I'm not, I'm just legit atting you. Okay. I'm not doing anything else. I'm legit atting you. Just, okay, I'm going to shut up. Let's continue. Yeah, so All Might came in on his Tony Hawk era and with the bro ready to slide and grind, if you know what I'm saying. He came in with a guardrail, like spiked guardrail. Like he throws in the X Games and bro came skating down with like Tony. whatever his name is, Estrana, bro, legit went, bah! You know what I'm saying? Izuku would see this, he would push the gravity of it up in the air. Bro legit said, he's an idiot. He doesn't know how to fight kids. And he would move out of the way and just shoot the purple like vortex, like force field of gravity upwards, pushing the guardrail out of the way and All Might up even farther. Who would just jump off and go after Bakugo, who would be coming at him. Izuku, who would say, we are not safe at all. There's no point in fighting this guy at all. He would say this out loud. And bro knows that there's cameras around because there was earlier when he was in the stands just watching everybody else fight. Bro was like, he would point at one. He would point at a drone and say, he's not safe. What do you mean? I get he's at his teacher. Do you see this? He would run over to the spiked guardrail and hold it up and go, he ain't safe. He's then throw it to the other side. He broke that. And then bro would hear something and then he would get smacked in the face by Bakugo. Just boom, just catching him and just oh, he's not safe. Bro, this is just like a spar. Yes. I swear this. He would already just say, yeah, screw it. Clipping them the gauntlets off, they would fully fall. Just boom. And then he would use as much gravity as he could to push down on this man. Now it sounds like Shaman King. Either way. Uh he would use it, just use his quirk, pushing down, and as he would just rush up, he would yell out, I'm not actually gonna yell. I don't actually yell. Okay. I have. But yet he would say, well, yell out, not yell, but he would say, unrestricted beat down. And he would just waylay into punches into All Might, one after another. All Might keeping his arms up as best as he could, just covering up his like injury mostly. Even though Izuku would just go full on, like he would try to. All Might would just keep his guard over his stomach and keep an arm up just over center mass. But yet Izuku just would either strike down on the forearm, which would have a weight. Well, not yeah, since the forearm would also have a weight. I'm pretty sure like the ankles do as well. I'm also gonna say that like the main torso also have a weight. Um, he would still cover up the areas. Izuku would try to find a way where no like weight was and just punch him there, which he would be able to do sometimes, even though All Might in this bulky figure, and he would be like kneeling down mostly, not fully kneeling on the ground, but he would be closer to Izuku's height, so it could be kind of more well easier for him to actually hit him in the said areas that he's trying to do. But eventually, All Might getting tired of this and saying, "Nah, I fight all for one on day one. I'm gonna swat this little guy away like a bug." I don't know why I'm talking like this. Either way, he would start to power through, standing up, taking the arm away that he would be covering up his wound, and just backhanding, swatting away Izuku through a building, two buildings, and into a third building. Crashing through the first one, he would say, well, flying to it, he would say in his head, he's not safe. We should have just. I would have rather fought like Mirko, and I would have passed out from the beginning. I'd be rather fighting an army of villains again. I'd rather fight the same army of villains as the USJ did fighting All Might. And then boom, 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 flying through them. Eventually stopping in the third one. He would lay there just looking up. He could feel the back of his head getting wet and something wet going down the back of his head. He would say, and he could already feel the arms on him, his back. He's cut up by just the broken debris that caught him coming through the concrete that the buildings were made of, and whatever else was in there. Him just colliding with it and him just flying past it, it would cut him like multiple times flying through. But Izuku would say, as he'd just be laying there in this third building, he's so unsafe. He's so unsafe. Let him just be fighting the villains. Let him fight the villains. Kids, young adults. Some of us are. One of us drank the adult stuff. I think he did. He would go to stand up, just spitting up just saliva. Yeah, it's so dusty in here. He would stand up fully, bracing himself on a pillar, walking out of the hole that his body created, and just walking down the alleyway up in between the two buildings that he crashed into, just holding, just trying to brace himself on something, making it to the alleyway, couple of buildings down to him from where he was, trying to hide just a little bit long enough. He could hear explosions just from across the other side. He'd probably be able to guess. Oh, Bakugo's running after seeing me getting swatted away like a bug. Izuku would hold the side of his ribs that he would got hit on, like mostly. Maybe hit, yeah. I mean, if he was standing forward, All Might's wound is on the left side of his body, I believe. So boom on, yeah, he had probably got swatted on the right side, and then boom, crashing through like sideways and turning halfway through, just crashing, crashing, crashing. Hearing these explosions on the opposite side, he would say, "Why was their idea to fight? Just when's this their idea?" I could feel my scars opening. The ones that would still have stitches in them from, and some of them opened during the like the sports festival, and especially the the ones from the SJ is what he's talking about. Some of them, since some of them opened, they had to resew them back up after his fights in the sports festival, and then his fight with the hero Unaliver Stain. Definitely, and I think I had him get cut a couple times, and his training from that point onward. would not be safe for him, but yet he did it anyway. He doesn't care. That's just the way it is. Even though how many times they have asked him to stop training, take a break, heal, he just wouldn't. Um, this would even worry his adoptive parents, mostly Emmy, Miss Joke, who has dealt with multiple people who would be, you know, trying to take their own life. But that's not Izuku. They know he isn't. Like, I'm not sure if I can say the word um, without getting like canceled. Not canceled, just copyrighted. Not copyrighted. Some type of strike. So I'm not gonna say it, but we all know what I'm insinuating. I hope, at least you all do. Um, they don't think he's doing that, but either way, he's still not entirely sure. Well, never mind. Back to Emmy. So, well, Miss Joke. Miss Joke has even called the people back at the orphanage that Izuku grew up in, wondering, has he had these issues before? I mean, given over the years of the 3 years, nearing 4 years by this point, that they had him like as their own, they have noticed things like this. And their talks with the people back at the orphanage, well, the people who cared about him, like the owner and, well, not Rin, since, you know, villain tag. Yeah, car crash. Whatever. Not her. Can't be her. But yeah, they would say it all started after Rin's unfortunate passing and things like that. That he started to stop caring about himself. He stopped really worrying about him getting injured because either way, it was either going to cause his downfall and he would be able to see Rin again, or it would kind of just make him know that he's actually feeling something besides the sadness that he keeps in the back of his mind and his constantly angry looking glare. He has an RBF, a resting bitch face, really. Um, he looks like he's constantly angry at something until he is like asleep, smiling. Mostly that face does come from his past. Now that was clearly like seen through everyone that knows Izuku and knows his past on where he came from and how he got there, got here. This is just who he is. He chose to be a hero to save people, so they didn't have to go through the same thing he went through. He wanted to be a hero to maybe make something out of his life instead of just being a crybaby for the rest of his days. He would work a 9 to 5, cry himself to sleep. He wanted to make sure that he would put a his name somewhere in the books. Now, given he doesn't care about the popularity that comes to being a hero or the money or whatever about that, he doesn't care about it. He truly doesn't care. He's doing it to save people. He's doing it to make sure he doesn't go into wherever he's going alone. Him closing his eyes in this makeshift fake city in the alleyway, still hearing the faint sound of explosions, he would stand up again from his seating down, just resting place. He would stand up. He would say, "Well, I'm gonna make sure." Eh, never mind. I was gonna do some type of cool quote. Nobody's here listening. Cool. Yeah, I do got an idea. I've been hungry, but I know I got molecules of fat still stored up. Now, the question is, do I have a big enough range to do this? And it will affect both of them, but if I could find out where he is. Oh, right, earpieces. I had mine. They're not there. Crap. No, there it is. It's from when I fell. I fell out. Bakugo. Finally! Where are you? You okay? Uh, what does mean? Is an answer. Uh, use word words. I don't feel like it. Oh my god! I've spent the last 5 minutes being chased by this madman we call it our number one hero. Finally getting the way I'm speaking. Yeah, I've been getting hit too, big guy. Oh, did you get swatted away like a bug through buildings? No, but that seems terrible. But I have a premonition I'm gonna fly through buildings with my awesome explosion quirk. Go and get some big bad final boss. He doesn't actually say that. That's just me. Call to skip ahead in the season and be like, oh, that's where that came from. Sorry, I thought I saw something. It confused me. But yeah, you get my point. And they would go through like, hey, get as close to the finish line as you can. I'll meet you there. So Izuku would go up, running through the alleyway, just hoping All Might didn't say, "Oh, he might be awake. He might actually." Oh, All Might probably thinks I may have just knocked that kid out. At least none of the building collapse. You building collapse that he was in. They would eventually collapse. Now, given because they have multiple beams, support beams gone, and two massive holes in the building, they wouldn't collapse immediately. So they thought either he is dead now, or he got out. Now, I feel like the upper room would have a connection to the earpieces, only to where they could listen to him, though. So they would know that he's awake and alive and okay. Eh, eh, I wouldn't say okay. I wouldn't say okay. I wouldn't say that. But yeah, they would come to the agreement of this plan. Izuku would say, "What am I going to call this? Because it's kind of a big feat." He'd be sitting there for a while in his position. And he would say, I got it, yeah. The Emperor's pressure. This field of gravity would push, would be such a large range. Like, you know how big a Walmart is? Times that by three. Like three Walmarts, like tall, not tall, like wide, but three times, and then times that by another like six Walmarts. Like in length, it's three Walmarts wide, but in width, it is well three times three times well three not times, but three plus three is nine. So nine Walmarts wide and three long. Now, given next time you see this move, it's going to be way bigger since he's injured currently. Like genuinely, he's injured currently. Like dog, this is as big as he could go at the moment. Just boom, everything would be pushed down. Just all the buildings that would be caught in this. Now, luckily, Izuku is out in the like main road, like the main like valley between the two buildings, like the two parts of the like city, right? So so is Bakugo, but boom, nearly this entire like arena, this entire fake city would be pushed down. Dust would fly, but Bakugo would come by since he would nearly be out of it, and the full weight hasn't caught up to him. But once he would grab Izuku's hand, Izuku would push down his entire, like, the rest of the weight, rest of the gravity that he could push with downwards. So All Might would be caught in a multi-ton, like a 20-ton, like weight field. Not 20-ton, that's a lot. I think more like 10 tons. Just fully 10-ton, like pressure. That would even slow him down, I feel like. Just the dust and rubble would just fall to the ground immediately. Buildings would collapse at their building at their building. Luckily, once again, All Might was in the main road, so he doesn't get crushed. Yee. But these two would make it through, and as they would both just start to slide and just boom, boom, boom. Izuku would just lay there with like Bakugo would probably land on him, like just they would be in like a like Izuku would be on the ground, just all spread out like a starfish, clothes ripped, and things are not where they're supposed to be. While Bakugo, like his upper half of his torso would be on top of Izuku, like their faces would be looking at each other. It would kind of be like the Sasuke and Naruto scene, like when they're fighting. I believe in the Valley of the End. Is that what it's called? You know where the Madara and Hashirama statues are? That's kind of be like in that scene. Like when their faces are just right there, but this time way closer. And then Bakugo realizing, oh crap, he would just raise himself up and say, I'm sorry. Izuku would be unconscious. Well, nearing unconscious. He'd, he'd still be like, yeah, whatever. Oh, God, my head. Well, then don't go to sleep. I think I may have a concussion, but I think I'll sleep it off. That's not how this works. Yeah, it is. I've done it before. That's not safe. Eh, you say potato, I say tomato. They're not even the same vegetable. Technically, a tomato is a fruit. Get your facts right. Bro's basically doing a Gita from Gachia Kuda. Yeah, that's where I'm going to end it here for today. I hope you all come back next time for part six. And yeah, hope you enjoy the rest of your day, night, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. I hope you have a great rest of your time of the day. I don't know. Um, do the YouTube things, please. It genuinely helps. Um, please answer my question. What video got you into me? Not into. Let me rephrase that. What video got you to subscribe to my channel, and what was your first video of mine that you've seen? Um, if someone ever makes a compilation of my old we anime video compilation, like old Wimbu, that's definitely gonna be there. That's definitely gonna be there. I see you. I swear. Sometime I'm gonna see on some type of social media. There's gonna be a compilation of me, and I'm gonna be worried. I'm gonna be so worried. Or there's gonna be a we anime vocal stem. Anyways, yeah. Thank you all for watching. Roll the dice. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.